Welcome back to the I Did It First podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Riley. And I always want to say Anna for some reason.
Why?
I don't know why.
You think you can do it better?
I know.
Oh.
I can probably.
You all witnessed that drive-by? Okay.
I just want to make that very clear. I don't want you to think there was some subliminal message there. I really
just
do.
Super direct.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what we're all about here.
I don't know why or what it is.
I don't either.
Also, too, listener, if I'm fidgeting a lot, it's because my hip is acting up
She's
today.
had too much caffeine.
That I have had so much caffeine. I've been talking in cursive the past couple days, and I'm starting to smell colors, and that's my own doing. I've been having over 400 milligrams of caffeine. See, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. I feel like Bella in Twilight, you know, where they have to teach her how to walk again and like how to breathe, and she like has to act all slow.
Let the air in.
But yeah, my hip's been hurting because my mom passed down generational hip pain, and she couldn't have given me something
a lot
cool,
more than that.
like money.
How about brains, looks, personality? I had a hand in that.
I did it on my own.
Oh, I had nothing to
My
do
own
with it.
doing. I'm kidding. I owe it all to you.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Wow.
mostly to God, but
The two of us.
you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, hi, how are you?
I'm good.
How's your hip?
Actually, it's been hurting too. Thank you for asking.
Aw, I did it first.
I did it first. Actually, I complained yesterday. So
Did you?
technically, yeah.
Oh, it just meshes with all the other complaining.
Maybe you just. I was gonna say something nice.
Wait, no, tell me. I love this.
I was gonna say you love me so much. That's why it
love
hurts.
you
But
so
you know what?
much.
Screw
It's
you.
sympathy pain.
Is
Yeah,
it?
that's what it is.
Always trying to steal the spotlight, really.
No.
Yeah. So what are we talking about?
Oh,
My
we're
favorite.
talking
It's actually
about
a conversation that's constantly triggering for me, which is why it's one of my
super.
favorites.
And it is controversial a little.
Yes, so you'll
Because-
know. You can comment below, send the emails. Just go right ahead.
Everyone has something to say about it, and especially when it comes to this topic. We always say that opinions are like armpits or asshole in the sense.
Everyone's got
armpits
one.
in the sense that everybody has a couple and they all stink.
Yep.
But when it comes to this, there's just a lot of like negativity around it that is really upsetting.
It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
So we're talking about cosmetic procedures, plastic surgery, and the stigma, and why so many people judge something they honestly probably want to some degree. I'm not saying all of it or any of it. And it's a fresh topic. I recently got an implant exchange, and I was really happy about it, even though I was really attached to my 1990s, like Pamela Anderson era, like Playboy, like, you know, we're definitely not to be ignored, no matter how bad we tried. It was definitely something that, you know, and at the time I was really happy about it, but even back then, the opinions that surrounded it, this isn't new. People's judgment of it. And it was so many people. And I was the little like world gem, gold gem rat. And
Which is also so crazy for me to think about.
twice a day, that was me. But
Your lore is so deep.
thanks. Oh, wait, we'll dig into that.
Yeah,
but,
put a pin in that.
but even at the time, I think every girlfriend I had got them. And the opinions about it, never the judgment, because it was even before you were born, was so much about why don't you wait till you have kids? And I we'll dig into that when we talk about yours. But at the same time, I hated this idea of like my life doesn't start until then. Like I want to do Vegas a lot of times before any of my kids come along, and I want to do it in a bikini and I want to look good.
Of course.
And so it's just a frustration even now. I mean, I'm really happy about it. I went to the amazing Dr. Song, who was able to downsize, which it was time. It was really time to just, I needed a little chill in my life.
You needed to break up
And
with your old boobs.
he was the only doctor out of 9 that I saw that could do it without a lift. And I will probably actually go smaller again, but I figure I'll enjoy these for a while.
Love. Take him for a test drive.
Yes. But just the whole experience. I got the Motiva implants. I love them. I'm happy. And I was really well taken care of. And so there has been people I can share this with, but I know there's still judgment.
Of course.
And that is something that has frustrated me, as obviously our age difference or lack of as a parent. And that was something I dealt with a lot, especially in the mom group, as the mom who looked like this, or I was, always the one working out, or always the one, trying to take care of herself. And there's a huge judgment that surrounded that. Like somehow it affected my ability to be a good mom.
To be a mom. Which is so crazy because I would go to the other extreme, and I will say, and clip it because it is so real. I think that moms that take care of themselves, whether that's Botox or getting surgery or waking up and working out before their kids are awake or feeding themselves properly, moms that put so much into themselves are able to be better parents and take care of their kids in a way that other people can't grasp. Yeah. How are you supposed to be responsible for small children, small adults, if you can barely take care of yourself? It is a reflection of the love that you have for yourself. And that isn't to go and say that you need plastic surgery.
No,
to
and
go.
that's
and
where
that's
I know,
like where people are gonna hang their hat
Here
on.
come the messages and here come the comments, because that's not it. I'm just saying, if this is something, and I'm taking body dysmorphia, all that off the table. Like that's a whole other episode.
Yeah,
like
fully.
That's not even coming into play. I'm just merely saying, if there's something that you have the means to do, and it will make you feel better,
fucking do it.
Fucking do it. And if it's gonna, if it gives you the self-confidence, if it's any of those things that will contribute to how you are as a mom, how you are as a wife, how you are socially, how you are professionally, or as a friend. Like coworker. If I feel good, I guarantee I radiate. Like, and this is even like after I'll go to the hip. When I couldn't barely move for like 2 years, and the second I was back working out, like you could see the second I entered a room. I mean, it was a lot, I'll be honest.
Smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, because I just felt so much better. And the same goes for like little things.
Even on the simplest level, when I'm tan.
Seriously.
When I'm tan, I'm a joy to be around.
Just radiating fucking
like,
sunshine.
I'm so happy. Suddenly life is so great. Life is worth living. And the truth is, the UV was just like 8 the day before. But when you feel better about yourself, you take care of yourself. You take care of other people. You're able to pour from your bucket into others. And you can't do that when you don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah, but I will be honest in saying I feel like I contributed a lot to this problem. Even so I had a nose job, right? And before I even told people about it, I started with my story. Okay, my first marriage, domestic violence. Like, I had to explain and justify like my whole story. And the second it came out, I regretted it. And yet I did it over and over and over again. Like, as if I had to justify this thing that I did for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to tell you every time I got stuffed up, it was triggering and upset. Like, you know what? I just wanted to do it.
True.
And I would do it over and over again. And even at the same time, I hate to say that I feel like I set that example for you, because even when you got your boobs done, you fell into that trap. And even when I would hear you do it, I was angry, because I'm like, I set that standard.
Yeah.
She feels like she has to explain herself.
Yeah.
Why not just because she fucking wanted to?
Hello. Like, that should be reason enough.
You shouldn't have to justify. And we talked about it.
We have. And that's kind of you talking about your nose was the catalyst for this episode, because I have to get my nose fixed, because I will provide explanation because context matters. But I have a very fucked up deviated septum just from years of playing water polo.
I've got pictures of you just like taking like right hook
punches to the face. But especially, and there is like science behind this. I just got off Accutane and it has literally changed the shape of my nose, and now I really can't breathe, and it's starting to affect like my level of consciousness.
Cut to her at the dentist today trying to get clean, and she sounded like Darth Vader.
And I literally told them, I was like, just give me 1 second. I actually can't breathe out of my nose. And they're like, no, you're fine. But I find myself even being like, oh, I have to get my nose fixed because of A, B, and C. But the truth is, I should just say,
that's the thing.
I'm getting my nose fixed. And it should just be it. And I should make other people feel uncomfortable for asking.
That's, I think, the bigger focus.
Why do other people even feel comfortable? I think it's because of these stigmas. Like,
well, I think there's two things going on. It's a lot of, and I'll just say women, because I think men fall in a different category. You know, women, I think, project a lot of their unhappiness.
Yeah.
And at moments I've done that. So I'm not going to say that I'm just, oh, I'm so perfect, I've never done it. I know I've done it. Or if I
Same.
was in a position where I couldn't do something for myself.
It's very easy.
And
to
then I
just-
convinced
yes.
myself I don't want it, only because I don't have the means. But that unhappiness still comes out.
Yeah.
Whether it's how I treat someone else or how I judge someone else. So it's really made me, even for myself, focus on not wanting to be that. And I think I think where men are concerned, they just kind of don't know maybe the extent of work women get done.
Crazy.
They think that a lot of, and I've even seen this on Instagram where I've seen certain guys comment or like what they think is natural, not realizing there's a whole production team that went into how that woman
Fully.
looks, which is, again, I'm fully supportive of, but I don't think they realize.
I don't know, because there will be times even with my boyfriend where he's like, wow, you look so pretty, like barefaced. I'm like, no, I have a subtle beat going on.
Like, I feel like credits need to roll, like
Yeah,
in a
thank
movie,
you
like
very
all the
much.
people that went into this production.
No, fully.
Like
and
waxing.
There's so much that
like everyone that's taken part in that. And I think honestly it happens for men too. I think there was the one influencer I follow, he had a hair transplant. He documented his whole journey to
recovery.
Turkey.
Yeah.
I read through those comments and they were awful.
People are so
And it's like the
fucking
men
mean.
suffer the same insecurities. They just want to feel better. And it's like, why would you even drag him for that?
And at the same time, I feel like it is harder for men because they kind of have to be more hush hush about it. Like, no, you don't have to, but there isn't.
You're right. But how is that like emasculating in any way? They just want to feel good.
Yes, it's horrible.
I mean, and that's the one thing that I feel that the hair one came up because it's just, I think that's one that I know affects so many men that they would if they could.
Yeah.
And it's like, then go for it. But even men that want it, that would never admit it though.
And instead they'll just make fun.
Yeah. And it's like, why?
Where men are making fun, women are tearing other women down. And this is what I hate. Do not say you're a girl's girl and judge other women based on what they look like and what you can see. If you know someone's character and you can clock it and say that they are a bad person because they did this and their actions reflect that they are a bad person, teach their own. But if you're just looking at someone, for example, I have something. This is a fucking joke. I have something on my Instagram. I have this post. Go like it. And it's a picture of me in front of a Subway in New York City.
Which is a really cool photo, by the way, because the Subway is actually going by.
My dad took it.
I was there. I was actually fixing her hair.
Yeah, it was speaking of the whole production. Yeah.
I was like, wait, turn this way. Brother's holding the light. Like,
literally, and I'm just like serving face. And obviously I have my boobs done. There is no secret about that. Like, there's nothing natural unless it's like naturally sourced, which even then it isn't. Like, and in this picture, I'm wearing a shirt that says tits for brains. And if you didn't hear me, let me speak louder for the people in the back. Tits for brains. It's a fucking joke.
Brains.
It's a joke. Obviously it's a joke because also in my bio it says UC San Diego alumni. Like,
with honors.
Yeah, on the dean's list. I'm doing fine. But there are older women that saw that photo and ripped it to shreds.
Yeah, but again, and maybe super
Insecure
unhappy
women.
person that had nothing else but to just judge you in that moment.
Obviously you can tell my boobs look big in that pic. It's the whole fucking point with the shirt. It's literally comedy.
Yeah, but happy people don't project like that.
And that's the thing. When you take care of yourself, and this is a callback, when you take care of yourself,
you treat everyone better.
Exactly. And even then, why can't you just be like, oh, you know what? Good for them. Because here's the thing, there's people getting stuff done that I would love to do, like 360 liposuction. Hello.
Yeah, but the same people that are judging, I don't know if you ever went on their Instagram profile, but the filters, like, they're off the hook. Like, insane. I'm like, what do you actually look like? Because I can't tell. Because
it's like Facetune to the 9s.
They're like
and
1980s glamour
dots
shots.
And like, but even then, it's like, okay, you're going to tear on these women. Then. Yeah, and you don't want them to get work done because it's fake. And you're so confident with who you are. Show the world what you actually look like.
Yeah, but this is where I think it's this constant, like, hypocrisy and stigma because there's also women I know who've had a lot of work done that still judge.
Crazy.
which is like, that is crazy.
And here's the thing.
So what is that?
Whatever you want to get done, get done. If I wanted to get mine, we've talked about this because Cher did an interview in the late 80s.
Or 90s, I think. It's like iconic interview.
And basically she said, if I want to put my tits on my back, I'm going to put my tits on my back.
And I remember that stuck with me because I just thought, oh my gosh, who cares?
Literally, who cares?
It's not anyone else's business.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you checked, but she seems like a really happy person. I mean,
and she's glowing.
and I think she's
She
dating like a
radiates
30-year-old.
confidence to work. I love this for sure.
Her happiness is working.
Yeah, clearly. But my tits are for me. My nose is for me. But everything that you do is for you. Like,
I think that part of the issue is I think there's so many celebrities and influencers that hide it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were more transparent, obviously, like for women, like it helps other women to be transparent. And at the same time, I get why they hide it.
Yes,
like look at like Kylie Jenner with her lips. Like I remember
so
reading that at the time, and I honestly thought, what's the big deal? It's actually not permanent.
It's a lip filler.
But I remember reading, and it would come up over and over again, and I thought, who cares? Like,
and that's the thing. She was like 17 at the time, and people tore her down.
Yeah,
and then you have those girls that are like, no, but I'm a girl's girl. You're not a girl's girl. You're actually a horrible person. Like,
well, then you take like a Sydney Sweeney who, I mean, she even did a commercial, I think, and maybe that was the irony.
I think
of
it
the
is
joke.
irony. Yeah,
because she was talking about being natural. And I mean, this is the picture, one of the pictures I used when I went back to the doctor, and I was like, okay. And I showed certain pictures. I can't remember the movie she made where she was completely naked, so you can see. And even then,
I love Sydney Sweeney, but the way her tits sit, they're not natural. The way the ridge is in between.
See, but at the same time, I get why she wouldn't want to.
Because people, they're
you can't
horrible.
win.
You can't.
This is why this is constantly, because I think as I age and I start to think about what I want to do, maybe I don't want to age gracefully. And there's, I look at it like there's so many years I spent just surviving that I want to spend these years thriving.
Love.
And for me, that might mean that like I want to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And I know that people are going to have a fucking opinion about it.
Of course.
Maybe this is why I ride solo so much, because it's just, that's my happy space. But at the same time, it's like you just see so much of it, and it's just really frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially in the older age, like I'll say older age group, but like Demi Moore.
Okay.
I think she has, I mean, we're going back to Charlie's Angels. Like I've been just always thought she was like one of the most gorgeous, just iconic women. And then as she tried to age, mind you, really happy family, great friends with her ex. Like she's
doing fine.
She's doing great.
Don't you worry.
But the way people tore her up. But then in the same breath, we'll talk shit on like a Cameron Diaz
or a Sarah Jessica Parker
aging naturally. I'm like,
it's
thank God.
Do we know? Like, don't act and don't expect honesty. But then the second people admit and give up this honesty, then you're so quick to shame them and judge them.
And that's,
There's such a mixed message in society today of being like, love yourself and be your most authentic self. But then there's
I think that they want to define what that means, though.
Yeah.
You can love yourself as long as you're not doing X, Y, Z.
Which is
but you also can't
so
age,
crazy.
because then we're gonna drag you to for that.
People are like, oh, what did she do with her face? Also, too, to make it clear, me getting my boobs done does not mean I hate myself. Why don't we spin it around and be like, no, I actually love myself, so I'm going to show up for myself. This is another opportunity I can show up for myself. If it's something I want to do and it's something that can help with my confidence and everything, like, why would I not do it?
But that was a conversation that I heard from a lot of moms.
Yeah.
Which is that, well, why doesn't she wait till after she has kids?
And that's where my mom's like, well, because her life doesn't start then.
And that's it. Like I said, I don't know if she wants kids. I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, who knows?
And at the time, you were lifeguarding. Hello, when you live in a bathing suit as a job, like, do I even have to say more? And I fell into that trap of trying to justify, which I'm only angry at myself for. Maybe that's why I wanted to do this whole show, because I've done this so much.
Yeah.
And the regret and anger I have about constantly explaining.
Yeah.
It literally bugs me all the
suffocating.
time. It does, because it just shouldn't. And I'm part of that problem, and I know that.
And I will say you definitely have gotten better with it. And especially when I, like with my nose, and I bring up this example again because it's just so recent, but I'm like so quick to be like, oh, but I have to, like, I can't breathe. And
maybe that's how it helps me too, because
you're
I
like,
want to
no.
shut you down.
Yeah. And you're like, no, fuck these people. Like, my nose has nothing to do. If you don't want to get your nose done, surprise, you don't have to. No one's holding you down.
Well, and this is what I always think is so funny, because I told you about the fact that I was at a birthday party, and then someone asked about my nose, and then I not only told this whole table of women, and then I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm actually thinking about getting my eyes done or getting this done. And it turns out like a lot of these procedures aren't like big procedures. They're like in and out in an office visit.
Crazy.
And the second I just started to be very open about this stuff, everyone started chiming in. Oh, you know what? I really want to get this done, and I really want to get that done. And it was, I could tell a lot of like these women are holding on to these conversations.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't really talk about this. And then once I did, but it was just the fact that again, the stigma is so real. The same idea that no one's talking about it. Well, when I call to make these appointments and can't get one for 3 months, they're not booked because nobody's going.
Yeah, exactly. There is this influencer on pretty much every platform right now, and I think she's an OnlyFans model, but her name's Ari. I believe her last name's like
I can never say it. She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. Basically, everyone in her comments is always like, you are so naturally beautiful, and she was so
I think I've sent this to you like 10 times because every time it comes up, I'm like, I just love this so much.
And she was so quick to address it and be like, I hope you know, like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But nothing about me is natural.
She went through like a shopping list. My nails, my teeth.
She's like, every time you see me, I have hair extensions. Yeah. I have a full face of makeup, a filter. I've gotten my teeth done, my chin implant, lip filler, my boobs done, liposuction, like all this stuff. And she's like, it's manufactured. Like, and I honestly,
but the realness of that, like, I feel like if more, and maybe she just doesn't even pay attention to the comments or the people, and she's just like,
who gives a fuck?
Which is probably the healthiest.
That's probably honestly
but
why
at the same
she's
time,
glowing.
You take away the power.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. You take away the power for people to talk shit and say, well, I'm going to speculate up and down like what they had done. And it's like, it doesn't have that anymore.
And she's clearly confident. She's beautiful, but there's a different.
She's laughing all the way to the bank, mind you.
Yeah. So you can try and shame women for doing whatever, but the truth is when you feel better look at her. She feels fucking great about herself and she's so happy.
And even the haters, I'll be honest, the engagement's the engagement. So
yeah. Publicity's publicity.
She probably thanks them just as much because they're taking the time to stop, post a comment and keep obviously revisiting. So
she's doing just fine.
Just fine.
That's what, and I actually talked about getting my boobs done again. Also too, just growing up in California, in Southern California, like you're so exposed to everything, and especially with social media. Now this goes for everywhere across the country, across the world. Like you're seeing what is possible in such little time. And I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I want to get my boobs done again because I want to go bigger, I want to go smaller, I want to go whatever. And I was like, but maybe I'll wait to have kids. And then I find myself doing that, and that's where you're like, no, don't,
because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What if, you could be 5 more years. That's 5 more years of you just feeling better about yourself and fixing something that, again, it's not that deep, but it might go a long way for you, for your mindset when you get dressed. Like,
love.
And here's the thing. I always used to say, I could be going out in a hooded sweatshirt, and if I know what I've got, it's like I remember reading this woman talking about why she wears sexy lingerie every day to work. And she's like, it's
like
not
underneath her clothes.
Yeah. And she's like, it's literally not for anybody else. But all day I walk around thinking I'm a bad bitch.
That bitch.
Yeah. And I'm like, God, that's exactly what I was thinking. If I walk around in a hooded sweatshirt, who cares? Like if I feel good, that's all that matters. That sweatshirt suddenly just took on like a whole new look.
And I have a friend the one that lives in Montana.
Oh yeah.
She's one of my
She's like one of the biggest hype women.
Love her. Yes. I love Maddie. Give Maddie a shout out. But she got her boobs done recently, and her confidence is glowing. She's always been a confident person, but she
just needs to post them more.
I agree. Maddie, post your tits. Like, And truthfully, they're for the girls and the gays. Like, that
Honestly.
is literally...
Like that compliment I got today.
Oh my gosh, from Andrew.
Yes.
Give him...
I was like this. I've reached the peak of validation.
Oh my gosh.
Ultimate. That actually made my whole day. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I fucking did
I
it.
love him. Yeah. And he's so funny. And he texted me and was like, did you see what I said about your mom's boobs? And I was like, yeah, she told me how validating that was.
I was like, this is it. I did it. I freaking did it.
So, moral of the story.
Yes.
If you want to get work done because you believe that it will make you feel better about yourself, which then directly affects the way that you talk to yourself, most importantly, the way you treat other people, the way you show up for other people, the way you show up for yourself.
Yeah, but that's a big one, actually, to
Fucking
talk
do
to
it.
yourself.
Yeah. But you don't have to hate yourself. You can just want to tweak a couple things. And if you have the means of doing it, do it. And
it could be small. I mean, shout out to Nurse Natalia, Nurse Marissa, these girls. I mean, I see women leaving these offices.
Oh,
we're
ear to
just
ear.
talking like tweaks ear to ear.
Maybe not
But
smiling
no
ear to
one's
ear
leaving in
because the
tears.
Botox is all Botox.
Maybe
is
not ear to ear. Maybe just like mid cheek to mid cheek.
Yeah.
But they're leaving happy, and it's like they're making a difference. And what other people might think is so superficial, but in women's lives, like every day, like it's the one thing they can maybe manage, which is something else that, you'll see later as you're doing, like when you get into professional or your marriage or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the one thing I can do just for me that impacts me right now.
Yes.
And that's like really hard to find as you get older and your responsibilities grow more and more. It's like, it's hard to find, and life is fucking hard as it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if this is one thing that you can do,
fucking do it.
fucking do it. So, I mean, I'm obviously even considering a facelift.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. And I already hear about that, but I'm like, okay, why do you care?
If you don't want a facelift, don't get a facelift.
I'm like, I cried for like 20 years. It took a toll. I swear, like 20 years straight, it felt like. So, and I'm saying it here, but the goal was to actually do it and have people not even notice and be like, wait, did you get some sleep? Why are you looking so refreshed?
And you're just like,
I just don't want to wait till it drops to the floor before I do anything about it.
You don't have to wait for the perfect time. Like if you want to do it now, you can do it now.
No, I'll actually heal better than when I'm 65. So,
so also too, if you see my nose looking so cute, little ski slope, perfect, mind your business. Unless you're helping.
If you see her breathing with her mouth closed,
Oh yeah. Versus, I'm sure you hear it in the mic. I'm like, oh, Luke. But that's the truth. And I do plan on coming and recording with my nose because you best believe I will take advantage. I'll be posting pictures on my story like,
like in Brazil and in South America, that's like a badge of like wealth too, right? To be able to walk around with bandages, whereas here we just hide out in our little cocoon until we come out and act like, oh wait, what? No, it's just good contour.
Yeah.
So we'll come out and really celebrate that.
And we do plan
on to be part of the solution, not the problem, which I actually have been part of the problem for so long.
But support other people too who are open with you and
honestly,
sharing.
this comes into weight loss too. Like I think about Kelly Osbourne, and she's been really open about Ozempic and everything else. And again, people are just hating on her, and she's just talked about how she's just feeling so much better about herself and how that's affected her as a mom. So it's like it encompasses everything. Yeah. Honestly, everything and anything you can do to kind of, if there's a way to kind of take an advantage and do it, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it. Like we live in such an advanced world where we have these resources at the, like, what am I saying?
There's not like a moral, like, advantage to just staying natural if you don't want to.
No, you're not morally superior. It doesn't make you a bad person for getting work done or doing whatever. And that is such a wide, like getting work done doesn't even necessarily mean going under the knife.
No, but one thing I want you to learn too, because I think I mentioned this to you before, is that there were moms even that I hung out with that were really judgmental, and I could tell even though that we hung out, like they had such an opinion. And, you kind of know when people are talking shit about you. And it's like, I finally just kind of went off on my own, and I didn't need that. But at the same time, honestly, they did me a favor. And if I'd paid attention, because when you're honest about this stuff, you find your people
right away. Very
the people
quickly.
And again, it's not that they're supporting and want you to do it, but they just want you to be happy. And so I really should have been more grateful. Thank you for showing me who you are.
So considerate of them.
It really was. And instead I was so worried about hiding parts of myself that I should have it should have been a lesson. And that was just one way to kind of really kind of pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So I want you to.
I will. I love you.
I love you.
And you are the queen. Whatever you're doing is fucking working.
Lasers. I love lasers.
I
just
want
burn it
lasers.
off. Well, that's what I want to do this on another episode, and because I think our
that's
generation
what we
is
plan
very
on
different.
Doing
I'm all about corrective. I was the generation that would cook in the sun with baby oil until we could take it no more. Where you guys are like,
no,
giant sun hat, SPF 100.
Don't drink because it's gonna age you.
Yeah, it's very
eat
different.
Healthy.
So it's kind of digging into procedures like corrective versus preventative. And I think there's so much information, and I really want to talk about it because we talk about it with other people.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we plan on doing and bringing here is just being open with you guys, and there's really nothing off the table if you haven't learned that already. Stick with us and we'll continue to prove that. But I think it is helpful because you offer your perspective as someone who is older than me and my mom, and I respect you so much. And
just a little bit older.
Just a little, yeah. Not
just
much. She was actually 13 when she
had
me.
I know, it's crazy.
But yeah, we love sharing this with you guys. And
yes, I want to take away or at least be part of that stigma and not be the hypocrite that I think I was.
Yes. And it's like the golden rule. If you can't say anything nice, don't say
shut the fuck up.
Period, point blank. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the I Did It First podcast. I'm Riley.
I'm Anna.
And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.